right now, with the coronavirus spreading, Genesis reuniting, the unfollow Bobo movement raging, and on top of all that, Joe Biden has risen from the dead. Super Tuesday was like Easter Sunday for Joe Biden, who staged the biggest comeback since Robert Downey Jr. Biden won 10 states last night, including Texas and Massachusetts, where he's not even expected to do well. He now has more delegates than any Democrat. And the biggest surprise of the night was when Biden revealed he is also the banana on The Masked Singer. So that's... But it wasn't all great news for Joe. Immediately after dominating the day, the very first moment of his celebration speech was marred by this.
They don't call Super Tuesday for nothing. By the way, this is my little sister, Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh, no, this is the... Oh, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me.
I hope they don't mix up the hotel room keys because... Oh, boy. It was a shocker of a day for Bernie Sanders. The bottom really fell out on... The biggest takeaway from yesterday is that a lot of people really waited until the last second to decide who... It was like the wedding ceremony on Love is Blind. It's... In California, lines were very... Some voters here in Los Angeles waited 3 hours to vote. And that is... If I'm waiting in line for 3 hours, I'd better get a Popeye's chicken sandwich at the end of it. This is what it was like in Sacramento last night, where one unlucky dad learned the value of the words vote by mail.
You could also take your mail-in ballot and drop it in. They make it very easy. And also, if you're not, and this is you're the end of the line.
Yeah.
What an honor.
Hey, hold on, Dad. I'm on the news.
He's talking to his dad. He's on the news and CNN.
I can't get him to come vote.
Okay. Well, it closes in 2 minutes. He has to come quick.
2 minutes? Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, could have been the one that put Tulsi Gabbard over the top. So... It's essentially now a two-man contest. It's Joe and Bernie fighting for the nomination like it's the last bowl of Jell-O at the Senior Center. And nothing against either one of those guys, but isn't your late 70s a weird time to start a new job? The only job you should start in your 70s is Walmart greeter. This is, you know, we already have a rule that you can't be younger than 35 to be president. I think Congress needs to cap that, too, at age 70. You know, when they wrote the Constitution, people like George Washington, no one expected to live to age 78. The average life expectancy was 35 then, but for whatever reason, back in 1789, they made the minimum age to be president 35. Maybe they didn't want a president? I don't know. And by the way... Why is the minimum age 35? I mean, if we want someone who's 33 and great, we can't have that person. Jesus died at 33. He would have been ineligible to be president of the United States. I don't know. I feel like the reason that we go for the old white guys is because when we were growing up, we were told that's what God looked like. And now, because of his relationship with Barack Obama, Joe Biden is very popular with African Americans. And Bernie, one of the reasons he was able to do so well here in California is because he's so strong with Latinos, which will be extremely important come November. If either one of them goes cabeza to cabeza with Presidente Trump, who this afternoon in Washington demonstrated his powerful command of Espanol.
Also here this afternoon is Miguel Gutierrez. I'd like to ask Miguel to please come up and tell us your story.
All's Miguel that ends Miguel. It's not like it's a common name, I mean... Guillermo, how many guys do you know named Miguel? Any?
Only one.
Only one, see? He's from there, okay? Our president also kept busy on Twitter. He posted a video of Mike Bloomberg licking his fingers while eating pizza. And he wrote, "Mini Mike, don't lick your dirty fingers, both unsanitary and dangerous for others." I think he's just jealous that Bloomberg's fingers are big enough to lick, but I do want to look at this video again because this really is something, you know. It's a crazy week when I agree with the president on something, but that is gross. I think he just started the Domino's virus there. Bloomberg took a licking last night, and it did not keep on ticking. Today, the former mayor of New York dropped out of the race. He spent $500 million to be in it, and the only place he won was American Samoa. It would have been cheaper for him to just buy American Samoa than... $500 million is a lot of millions of dollars. For that much money, these are the things Mike Bloomberg could have bought with $500 million. This original Da Vinci, 250 Bugattis, 500 private Beyonce concerts, 25 of those Heart of the Ocean necklaces from Titanic, the Calgary Flames. For $500 million, Bloomberg could have paid for all of Trump's golf since he became president. And while Bloomberg may now be out of the race, he did release one final campaign ad, which, if had it run, may have proven to be his most effective yet.
America. Ours is a nation founded on ideas. We need a candidate who can win voters' hearts and minds. Mike Bloomberg is that candidate. He's the only Democrat running whose name you hear in every single commercial break, every single time you turn on the TV. You've seen him thousands of times, but look at him. Really, look at him. Look deep into his eyes. Surrender yourself to the inevitable. Submit to Bloomberg. There is only Bloomberg.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and you'll do as I command.
I don't know. I guess not. I guess now we won't. So Bloomberg is out. He endorsed Joe Biden today. And this is very clever. They have a great plan, actually, for the unsold Bloomberg campaign merch. You know how because of the coronavirus, there's a shortage of those masks? Well, not anymore, thanks to some clever tailoring on the part of Team Bloomberg. There you go, problem solved. You know, the president, Trump, is a well-known germaphobe, and he's said to be going around the White House lately saying, I can't get sick, I can't get sick. He's reportedly been banishing staffers who he thinks could infect him from his office, and you'll never guess who he blames for the current limits on coronavirus testing.
The Obama administration made a decision on testing that turned out to be very detrimental to what we're doing, and we undid that decision a few days ago.
Yes, yes. He also blamed Obama for Pokemon Go, which was on his watch. Of course, there's no evidence that the Obama administration did anything of the kind, but that doesn't matter. You know, Trump has been televising his meetings on this lately. He had a roundtable with the CEOs of the airlines yesterday, during which he presented the bright side of the coronavirus.
It's affecting the airline business, as it would, and a lot of people are staying in our country, and they're shopping and using our hotels in this country. So from that standpoint, I think probably there's a positive impact.
Right, right. And guess who owns hotels? Well, that's right, the smartest man in the world. Mike Pence gave a coronavirus update today, too, and he bragged that they have, he said, in a positive way, we have 2,500 testing kits available. That's great. That's like the ship is sinking, but don't worry, we have an inner tube. Jump on. But the president is not wrong. People are shopping a lot, mostly buying hand sanitizer, which you cannot find anywhere now because of what they call panic buying. And I want to show you something. This is a text I got today from my friend James Baby Doll Dixon, who is in a complete frenzy about this virus. He won't fly, he won't do anything. And this photo you're about to see is the real passenger seat of his car. He's got cigarettes, towelettes, and donuts even. If the coronavirus doesn't get him, everything else in this car will. Also a bottle of cologne in the middle, which I guess he could gargle in a pinch. I don't know. But be well, baby doll. It's gonna smoke hard and everything will be okay. Some scumbags are really taking advantage of this by jacking up prices for sanitizer like Purell. This is a 2-pack of Purell listed on Amazon for $99. They got around the rules by listing it as a collectible. And a 24-pack of travel-sized Purell for only $400. The lesson here is just wash your hands with soap. Purell is through the roof, and so is Lyft, the rideshare service. Lyft reported their biggest week of revenue ever, presumably because people are scared to use public transportation, which, you know, I get it, but if you're trying to get away from germs, maybe the Honda with a bowl of community breath mints isn't the solution. Okay? You can still get the virus in a Kia Sorento, all right? But not every company is thriving right now. One unfortunately named product has been an unexpected victim, not just of the virus, but also of American stupidity.
Some Americans say they're avoiding Corona beer because of the coronavirus outbreak. It's not just a few people. 38% of people polled, more than a third, say they will not buy it under any circumstance.
Really? Really? A third of us think Corona the beer is causing the virus. That's like thinking Gator causes AIDS. That's dumb, okay? It's so dumb, I actually found it difficult to believe, so we decided to go out on the Hollywood Boulevard to do our own unscientific poll to see if we got similar results.
Do you think there might be a correlation between Corona beer and the coronavirus?
Possibly, yeah. It would be a factor to be concerned about.
Do you think there's any correlation?
Initially, I did think there was a correlation between the two. Luckily, I don't drink.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
If you did drink, would you be concerned about drinking the Corona?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it sounds the same.
Are you worried at all about a resurgence of the Zima virus?
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is so serious, and I think it's just, of course I'm terrified of getting it.
Would you avoid warmer climates this summer for fear of catching something like bacardiosis?
No. Yes. I mean, I'm sure if my mom sees it, she'll be like, absolutely, of course. I think so yes.
What did you think when you heard that Mike Pence had been named as the head of the coronavirus task force?
I think he's the most qualified person for the job.
And why is that?
The vice president works for Trump.
What do you think about him assigning the two senators, Bartles and James, to work on the task force?
I think they're qualified as well.
Do you think natural ice could kill the virus?
It could, but with the help of technology, we can't do it alone. We need some technology in our systems.
What about a fireball?
That as well. And since our technology is constantly improving, I'm looking forward to that as well.
Have you been paying heed to advice from government officials like the Surgeon General or Captain Morgan?
Yes, and I'm not panicking. I'm staying calm.
Now, do you know if you're vaccinated against White Claw?
I just got vaccinated with my flu shots and everything, so hopefully that covered it.
Excellent. What about Bud Lyme disease?
Yes, that too.
Do you know if you or your family are vaccinated against White Claw?
The beer?
White Claw, the disease.
Oh my God, that's gonna go on television, and I'm gonna be like the idiot.
Well, yes, that's true. Anyway, please have a cold one tonight to support the people at Corona Beer. Hi, I'm Jimmy Kimmel, and I am not allowed to eat this cookie until you click the subscribe button. So please click now. I'm hungry.